Have you ever thought about planning a simple event, a birthday party, a baby shower, maybe even a small wedding? You may have thought to yourself, I'll just do it myself, keep it low cost, and keep it stress-free. Well, how'd that work out for you? If you're like most people, what started out as a simple event quickly turns into loaded Pinterest boards, doom scrolling on social media, looking at everybody's over-the-top extravagant events, vendors not showing up on time or even at all, and many last-minute trips to the store resulting in way more unexpected costs. Sound familiar? Here's the thing, simple doesn't mean easy, and today I'm breaking down 5 common problems with simple events and why, more often than not, they end up being anything but simple. And stay tuned till the end for an extra problem that most people overlook. One of the biggest reasons why people try to DIY their own events is to save money. But let me ask you this, with time as one of our most limited resources, how much is yours worth? Planning an event yourself means that you are now the coordinator. That means researching and pricing out venues, vendors, decor, scheduling, setup times, breakdown times, and handling every last-minute issue. And even if you decide to hire a friend or a family member, you'll still be needed for constant input and final decision-making. And let's be honest, event planning doesn't happen between a 9-to-5 work schedule. It happens after hours, on the weekends, and in between every other aspect of your daily life. And what's worse, most people don't even actually save money. They just shift the costs from dollars to time and stress. Instead, when you work with a quality venue or event planner, all of the work and coordination is handled for you. We already have all of the vendors, materials, and logistics covered. You just show up and enjoy. Here's something most people don't think about when planning an event: hidden costs. Sure, you probably budgeted for food, decor, maybe even a venue. But did you think about rental deposits, delivery fees, setup and breakdown charges, maybe even extra linens because the ones you had weren't enough? I've seen it happen time and again. Most people think they're saving money, and by the end of it all, they're way over budget. The reality is, bundled pricing saves you money and stress. Here at Event Center Miami, we take the time to uncover all your event needs so that you receive one all-in cost. No surprise add-ons, no nickel and diming, just one price for a stress-free experience. Now just think, what would that cost be worth to you? Even for a simple event, you're dealing with multiple vendors ranging from catering, DJs, decor, event rentals, photography and videography, and a host of others. Each one of these having their own schedules, their own policies, and their own payment deadlines. Missing out on just one email or text message can cause you to forget to confirm a vendor, and now you're scrambling on the day of for a last-minute replacement because somebody didn't show up. That's why we work with trusted and preferred vendors that know our venue, our system, our processes, show up on time so that things run smoothly. Look, I appreciate a good Pinterest board as much as anybody, but there's a huge difference between making a DIY event look easy and it actually being easy. People spend hours on social media scrolling through all of these different DIY hacks and saving these posts, thinking that they can create these elaborate setups for themselves, only to realize that halfway through, it's much harder, way more time consuming, and way more expensive in a lot of cases. Or even worse, they end up paying a professional at the last minute for a rush order when they should have just done that in the first place. Our team of vendors already has the experience, the inventory, and the skills to execute your vision without trial and error. You get your completely customized theme without the DIY disasters. All right, let's talk about the part of event planning that everyone forgets, and that's setup and breakdown. Just imagine, you've been prepping this event for weeks, maybe even months. The last thing you want to do is have to wake up at 5 a.m. to set up tables, chairs, decorations, not to mention if all of that stuff even arrives on time. And now during the event, you're stressed out because you're wondering if everything was set up correctly before the event, what your guests are thinking, and how they're enjoying themselves. And before you know it, you probably got about 30 minutes left in your party, and now you're worrying about the cleanup and breakdown. Now you have to make sure that you properly coordinated everything and scheduled all of your vendors to arrange for them to pick up at a certain time and be out by a certain time, because if not, the event venue might keep your security deposit. I can't tell you how many times I've heard renters having to scramble at the end of an event, trying to break down decorations, pack up leftover food, haul furniture back to the rental companies when they should be enjoying themselves and relaxing. At Event Center Miami, we make sure to help you properly coordinate to make sure that you have all the setup and breakdown time that you need before you book with us. If you've experienced this problem firsthand, then you know just what a disaster a simple event can cause. Share this content with someone you know that's celebrating their own upcoming milestone. And as promised, the extra problem that nobody wants to think about is cleanup. Whether you're hosting at home or a DIY event venue, you know who's responsible for cleanup, pickup, trash removal, and everything in between? You are. Which means instead of winding down after an amazing event, you're stuck rolling up tablecloths, packing up food, taking out the trash, and stacking tables and chairs. Our packages allow you to walk in, enjoy, and walk out. No mess, no stress, just great memories. So is planning a simple event really simple? If you've tried it yourself, you already know the answer. The good news is it can be simple if you have the right people and team in place to handle all the details. If you want to avoid the stress, hidden costs, and last-minute scrambling, then Event Center Miami has got you covered. Comment the word simple below and let's make your next milestone, well, simple.